guys, it's Elias here, and today I am bringing to you a Yugioh deck profile. As you can tell by the title of the video, this is an Orcust deck profile. A few disclaimers. I don't expect this to be a necessarily a competitive, viable deck profile. I sort of based it on the old deck profile that I kind of used to run back when this was a super popular meta deck. However, I believe this deck is still a lot of fun, especially after the Banlist changes that unlimited Orcust back to 3. But yeah, just a disclaimer, this may or may not be competitively viable. Also, I'm missing a few cards in the extra deck. I'm still waiting for them to come in the mail, but I figured I would still do the video anyway. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this deck profile. So I believe the deck is 43 cards, I think. I'm not sure. But we're just gonna go ahead and list off the monsters and go from there. So I am playing the one Orcust Brass Bombard. It's a level 1 machine tuner with the effect of you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon an Orcust from your hand except itself, and then you're locked into dark monsters for the rest of the turn. I like it at 1, just it's not necessarily a good starter, but it is a good oh cool, it's in the graveyard, I can extend with it type card, so I like it. Next up is 2 Symbol Skeleton. This is a level 3 Dark Machine, as is pretty much the entire deck. Its effect is you can banish from the graveyard and then target an Orcust in your graveyard, except itself, and then special summon it. And then with all the Orcust cards, you're locked to dark monsters for the rest of the turn. It's a good extender. I played it 2 just because I feel 3 is too bricky and 2 is kind of that good middle ground of how many cards or how many copies of it you want to run. Next up is the machine of the hour, Orcust Harbor, my beloved. This card was recently unbanned from the ban list. It went from, I believe, 1 copy to 3 copies in like this span of like 2 ban lists, which Orcust is probably my favorite deck of all time, and once I heard this was unbanned, I had to throw this deck back together. I mean, I had to. And the reason why this card is so good is that you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon an Orcust monster from your deck. I mean, you're locked into using it once per turn, but with like how you can recycle this card so often, this is it's just so good. You can send this to the graveyard in a myriad of different ways, and you get a free Orcust card. Like, this card is insane. I love Harbor. I'm so happy it's back to 3, even though Orcust may or may not be the best deck right now, at least this version. It's still a lot of fun. Next up is 3 Gearsu. This pretty much became the playmaker of the deck once Harbor got banned. Level 4 Dark Machine, the effect of if it's normal or special summon, you can send an Orcust or World Legacy card from your deck to the graveyard. Then, if there are 2 or more cards in this card's column, you can treat it as a tuner. And if you control no other monsters, you can special summon a World Legacy token to both players' field and defense position, and then you can only use each effect once per turn. So this is still good, a good starter. You summon this guy, you dump, say, a Harbor, and then you get out like Nightmare from your deck, or Symbol Skeleton, or if you have any other cards in your graveyard to use it. So really good extender. may be running an Ib, the Synchro Ib in this deck, but just because of the tuner stuff. But alas, I still don't. I still don't know. Next up is World Legacy, World Wand. I played two. From what I remember, two was the go-to to play this deck, or for this deck. Three is too bricky. Two is just about right. The effect of it is really just kind of mediocre, but like the first effect of it. But the main effect, the reason why you use this is it's a level 8 Dark Machine, which is it's a way you can summon Dingirsu naturally, but what you use it for is you can banish it from your graveyard and then target one of your banished Orcust monsters, special summon it, and then you're locked to dark monsters for the rest of the turn, but that's fine because the deck runs pretty much all dark monsters. It's another fun extender. It's a good extender on your opponent's turn when you have Galatea and Babel on the field, which is really nice. But yeah, so it's a good card. And then up next is 3 Orcust Nightmare. It's another level 8. Its effect is you can banish from the graveyard to target one monster on the field. You cannot special summon monsters from your deck. Oh, sorry. Target one face-up monster on the field. You cannot special summon monsters except dark monsters for the rest of this turn. Also send one Dark Machine monster from your deck to the graveyard except itself. And if you do, the targeted monster gains attack equal to the level of the monsters into the graveyard times 100 until the end of the turn. The attack boost is nice, I guess, in like fringe cases, but you're really just using it to send another Orcust piece from your graveyard, which is really nice. But yeah, so yeah, 3. I know some builds play 2. I just play 3 just because it's another Orcust name. There's not a lot of them, but there's enough to go around. And then this is where my variant of the deck comes in. As far as I understand it, there's the King Sarcophagus build currently that's being played, or mostly played. Honestly, from what I've heard, that is the more competitively viable version of the deck. However, I did not feel like spending over. I think last I looked, it was like almost $300 for just 6 of the cards needed, and I'm good. I'm good. So the version I play is the Danger version. So I run Tunasi, which all the dangers share the effect of you reveal it in your hand, and then your opponent randomly chooses a card in your hand, and then you discard the chosen card. If the danger gets picked, they all have different effects. Nessie's effect is you add a danger card from your deck to your hand except itself. But if it doesn't get picked, it's special summoned and you draw a card. It's dark. You can special summon it with the entire deck. It's pretty nice. And then I play 2 Mothman. When it's picked and sent to the graveyard, both players draw a card and then discard a card, which for Orcust is nice because you can draw a card and then you can discard an Orcust piece you need and you can go from there. Or what you can do is, or you just get a free level 4 on the field and you draw a card, which is nice. Followed by that, I play 1 Jackalope, which lets you special summon a danger from your deck in defense position except itself. And then 1 Tsuchinoko, which lets you special summon it if it's discarded. So yeah, overall, these are. I like the dangers because I feel they synergize very well with the deck and how it plays. But I can understand if people don't play them. And then just kind of the one-offs. Gizmegarochi. It's a classic non-Orcust card. It's a level 8 machine. If it's in your hand or graveyard, you can banish the top 8 cards cards from your deck face down and special summon it. It's a level 8 Dark Machine that you can use for making Tingirsu normally, but also what you I believe I run 0 Boros in this deck, so the banishing all your cards to make one giant monster is kind of why I use it. And then we got Dark Griffer and Armageddon Knight. A really good starter. I mean, you summon it, you send a dark monster from your deck to the grave, really nice. I still like Griffer because they're on the occasions you draw a World Wand or a Nightmare, you can pitch it to special summon this, and then you can just start. You can also just send a. Usually send Nightmare, so you can just start kickstart your Orcust combos. Plus, you still have a normal summon afterwards, which is really nice. That's nice. The one of that I don't know if you can cut, but I remember using it and liking it a lot. Was Jet Synchron. I used this card mainly to. It's an extender. Again with the danger. So, you can pitch this to the graveyard, and then if this is in the grave, you can pitch another card from your hand to special summon it, and it pretty much just becomes it's just a free monster to link off into Galatea or something else like that. I don't know, I still like it, but it's up in the air if you can cut it or not. And then up for hand traps, you can kind of interchange them. I'm playing 3 Droll and Lockbird. Just because from what I heard, it's a pretty good hand trap still. Same with 3 Ash. Ash is probably one of the best hand traps ever made. Still really good from what I heard in the format. And then 3 Nibiru. Nibiru, honestly, with these you can honestly switch them out. Like for Droll and Lockbird, you could probably switch out Droll and Lockbird for Infinite Impermanence, which actually let me go and look through my side deck real quick. Yeah, so like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so honestly, you can side deck a lot of these out for other cards. So like you could side deck the Nibiru for Impermanence, Droll for Triple Tactics Talents, or stuff like that. I have these in here because it's just sort of what I have. But honestly, hand trips are a case by case basis, and you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want. And now for the spell cards. So I'm playing 2 Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards, banish a dark monster from your hand. If you don't, you just send your turn to the graveyard. I run 2. It's more draw power. Is it needed? Probably not. But I still like the card because you run like 90% dark monsters in this deck. So it's fine, honestly. Same with I play 2 Orchestrated Return. This lets you pitch an Orcust on field or in your hand to draw 2 cards. It lets you dump Orcusts into the graveyard while letting you draw 2 cards. So I play 2 because you can only activate once per turn. But 2 doesn't seem too bricky, and 1 doesn't seem like it would come up enough. And then the one-offs, Babel. You need this. You pretty much need this. 1 copy is all I have ever seen run in the history of Orcust. It lets you activate Orcust monsters in your graveyard, or link monsters you control with Orcust in their original names. Quick effects, really nice for like using a skeleton to bring back Galatea, and like bringing back recycling your Harpor to go again. Really good card. And then Jericho is if it was sent to the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard to add it to your hand. So it's got really nice recursion on it, which is really nice. One called by it's a good hand trap. I still don't know why it's at 1. But if this was at 3, I would run 3. 1 for 1. This is strictly for it's a hand pitch. So you can just pitch any card, any of your monsters from your hand, which are hopefully Orcust, and then you can grab like Brass Bombard or Jet Synchron. Foolish because the deck revolves around sending stuff to the graveyard, and it would be foolish to not play this, I feel. The last 2 cards for the main deck are I like playing 2 Crescendo. I know most deck lists typically just run 1, but I've always liked running 2 just as a backup. I almost never draw it, which is fine. Usually use Galatea's effect to shuffle an Orcust to grab this card. You can run 1, you can run 2. I personally like running 2, but I mean, to each their own. Alright, and now on to the extra deck. So the extra deck, go ahead and start off with, I run 2 Dingirsu's, major playmaker of the deck, super strong. It's generic rank 8. It's got a couple effects. So you can only summon him once per turn. You can also summon him using an Orcust Link monster you control's material. If this card if a card you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach a material from this card instead. And then when it's special summoned, you can activate one of its other effects. You can send a card your opponent controls to the graveyard, or you can attach a banished Rasheen monster to this card's material. So it's really, really good. So you can it's a non-targeting, just banish, which is really, really nice. Non-targeting removal, which is really nice. Or it's hey, let me just grab another one of my combo extenders, attach it to this guy, and now this guy has, 3 destruction negates, which is really, really nice. Major playmaker to the deck, one of my favorite cards of all time, design-wise, and it's just really, really cool. Then next, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. I like her. Rank 5, big boss monster, pretty much. Lets you use your opponent's monster as a link material, which is nice. If it's link summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, which is nice. She's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, unless they target her specifically. And then once per turn, if your opponent activates a card effect that activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard, you can negate the activation. So it's negate. It's a big beefy boss monster. I like her. This is very old school. Boral Sword. I like Boral Sword. It is, you summon him, you beat your opponent into the ground. I like him more because access code has never been. I understand access code had its time in the limelight, but I always felt Boral Sword was better just because you summon him, he can't be destroyed by battle, he can attack twice, and he gets big. Generally a game winner. Yeah, just a solid card. Apollousa, my beloved, really good card. Lets you negate up to basically 4 times, which is really nice. granted it's monster effects, but given how many monster effects there are in this game that do everything, still a very, very good card. Here's the aforementioned Topologic Zeroboros. So this card, when in conjunction with Gizmekarochi, goes really hard. This is another banish everything, and this guy just hits super, super hard. Really, just a fun card. At a regional that I attended years and years ago, I saw someone with like a 60 card deck banish almost their entire deck and had like a 15,000 attack Zeroboros, and my buddy could not do anything, and he just got one tapped by it. Next up, here's one of the cards that you never played in the original Orcust decks, but I've heard it being tossed around nowadays, and that is Orcustrian. It's a Link 4, sorry, Dark Machine that takes 2+ effective monsters, including an Orcust monster. Its effect is this linked card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You can target 3 of your banished machine monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, the attack and defense of any linked monsters your opponent currently controls becomes 0, and their effects are negated. So I feel like this is really, really strong, because not only does it have the ability to recycle more of your resources even harder, you can, I believe, the attack reduction and the effect negation are non-targeting, so you can potentially lock down and nullify 2 of your opponent's monsters. I haven't played this personally, so I don't know if it ever comes up a lot, but I have heard it talked a lot, so that's why I included it. And then up next, you have your run-of-the-mill Orcust cards. So one Longyearsu, I've only ever seen him ran it 1. I've heard arguments to not run him or to run him, but I like it. It can't be, if it's linked, it can't be destroyed by card effects. Then you can target 2 of your banished machine monsters, shuffle them into the deck, then you can send 1 linked monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Again, I believe this doesn't target, so again, it's graveyard recursion, and it's a spin effect, which is really nice. But it can't attack the turn. You activate this effect, which honestly is fine. Yeah, I like Longyearsu. I think he's always been a fun card. The other big playmaker, Galatea, run 3. You will always want to run 3 of her. She's how you fetch your Babel, your Orchestrated Crescendo. She lets you shuffle your Orcust stuff and put it back to the graveyard to add an Orcust spell or trap directly from your deck. She's a Link 2. She's pretty much, I would argue, the main extra deck playmaker of the deck. And then to round out this extra deck, 1 AP Masquerena. You can use her just to blink on your opponent's turn. Just really solid card. And then I'm running 1 the Dark Charmer, Gloomy. This card's actually really cool. It's fairly recent, and this works really well in Orcust. It's a dark monster. It takes 2 monsters, including a dark one. And then you can target a dark monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to a zone this card points to. If it's destroyed by battle or a card effect, while it's in your monster zone, you can add a dark monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. I'm pretty sure all of the Orcust monsters except Nightmare qualify for this, so I mean it's just a nice one-off. And then the other one-off I'm playing is Barricade Bork Blocker. You can probably it's iffy. You can run this, or you can run Sky something of Photon or something like that. It's the dark version of Zeus. I like this card because A, it's not $40, and B, when you can still link summon this to grab your Babel from your graveyard, and then it's nice. That's like extra field spell protection. It's dark. It's a machine, so it fits with the Orcust. But this card you could probably cut for like this guy something It's Typhon. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, that's pretty much it with that one. For the side deck, this is a very rudimentary side deck. It's cards that you could cut, change around, just depending on what you need. I mean, I run one Boral load. Is it overkill? Probably. But it's you can knock a monster down on the field. It's nice. I don't know. I kind of. It's more of an old school feel, but. And then Topologic Trisbania. It's another just link 3 banish option. And it's got some burn damage, which I guess could win you some games, but it fits well with Zero Boros, so you can kind of side it out, maybe try that out. Phoenix, I mean, it's a good nightmare card. Discard a card, target a spell or trap, destroy it, and if it's culling to draw a card, the culling probably doesn't come up a whole lot, but it's a nice, it's linked to, you summon it, you pop a field spell, you can discard a card, which, discarding Orcust cards or danger cards is really nice, so, and then for the kind of hand trap stuff, three triple tactics talent is just a solid card. You can run 3 DD Crow. I run it solely because you can banish stuff from the graveyard. It's also a dark, so it fits the theme of the deck. And then for traps, you can run like 3 evenly, and then 3 imperm. You can swap these around with hand traps as you need. Imperm's good, evenly's good. I don't think it's as good as imperm. Alternatively, if you have them, you could probably swap out evenly matched for droplets and use those as the field spell or hand traps as well. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I am probably going to be making slightly more Yu-Gi-Oh content in the future. It'll be mostly unboxings or other decks I have that I built that I think are neat that I just wanted to show off. But yeah, that's it for me. If you like this video, well, first of all, thank you for making it to the end of the video. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.